Can't make it to the game? We've got your back. Just go to www.IndianaSRN.org and tune in to all of the live action or go to our on-demand service and relive your favorite moments.
This is the Frells family's land. When the sun comes out, the kids run and play right there. This used to be a shed. Now, it's where they get breakfast. This is more than just land. It's home. The Frells family runs with us on a John Deere 1 Series tractor. This land isn't the only thing that should live on for generations. Nothing runs like a Deere. Search John Deere 1 Series for more.
Visit Reynolds Farm Equipment, your hometown John Deere dealer today at reynoldsfarmequipment.com.
You're good at making big announcements. We're good at your insurance.
Start with Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance, online, over the phone, or in person, and stop knocking on wood.
You want a sports degree that is beyond the game? A degree that immerses you from day one and launches you into the business side of sports. With a sports management major from IUPUI's School of Health and Human Sciences, you'll have insider access to sports professionals and will learn from faculty with years of teaching and industry experience. There isn't a better city than Indianapolis to get the experience you need to launch your sport industry career.
From warehousing to transportation and everything in between, Piper Logistics does it all. Centrally located, Piper Logistics has 2 warehouses in Indianapolis and a warehouse in Cincinnati, Ohio. Piper Logistics houses over 1 million square feet. Along with our transportation department, we can provide service to half the United States markets.
Can I help you?
Yeah, I'd like to order a hamburger, fries, salt, maybe a large vanilla shake.
This is a trophy shop, can't you tell?
You got carry out?
Everything that you need we have here at the shop. Very unique. You order today, carry out tonight, that's our version of carry out.
All right, I'll take one of everything.
Well, that may take a little longer. We'll have it for you tomorrow night.
I'll be back tomorrow to pick it up.
We'll be waiting for you.
Bertner Electric Incorporated has been proudly serving our residential and commercial customers with quality electrical repair for over 33 years. We are fully licensed and insured in electrical wiring and electrician service packages. You'll receive a competitive assessment, whether you're a homeowner or a business owner, first-time or long-time customer. We offer free estimates for any new project. Call our licensed and experienced electricians today.
You want a career that creates experiences that are impossible to forget. By studying sports and events at IUPUI, you'll get hands-on experience in and out of the classroom. And with Indy as your classroom, there are high-profile events, sports franchises, hotels, museums, and large organizations across the city to engage, educate, and enlighten your student journey before you graduate. There isn't a better city than Indianapolis to get the experience you need to prepare you to handle any event, big or small. It all starts here.
At Morales Group Staffing, we are all about building better futures. And during these times, we are working hard to put people to work. We are now hiring for hundreds of jobs with pay up to $17 an hour. Visit our website at moralesgroup.net or text JOBS, JOBS, to 317-472-7600 to apply now and get hired today.
You're good at keeping the car clean. We're good at your insurance.
Start with Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance, online, over the phone, or in person, and stop knocking on wood.
High school sports fans, welcome back to Game Time. To pure spirits, to pure sport. Welcome back to high school sports.
Fans, I'm IHSAA Commissioner Paul Knighty, and I just want to say, welcome back.
This is Game Time. This is Indiana high school sports. This is your IHSAA.
You want a career that will transform your life while you change the lives of others by helping them live well. With a health or exercise sciences degree from IUPUI School of Health and Human Sciences, you will gain an in-depth understanding of the healthcare industry while preparing you for a variety of graduate and professional programs in health. And with Indy as your classroom, you will have clinical options within leading hospitals right in our backyard, as well as a degree from Indiana University, reputable leaders in the healthcare industry. It all starts here.
Can't get to a computer? Then we've got you covered. Just go to the IndianaSRN app and stay up to date with all of your favorite teams. You can watch live coverage or relive the experience with our on-demand service.
You're good at basement basketball.
We're good at your insurance.
Start with Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance, online, over the phone, or in person, and stop knocking on wood.
Mortgage Group. I've been teaching here at Guerin Catholic for 13 years. I've been assistant coach also for 13 years. And I think it's important in today's world that we have young people growing up with the morals and values of faith-based education.
Hello, I'm Dwayne Thompson with Integrity Mortgage Group, and I support Guerin Catholic High School because I'm good friends and business partners with assistant coach Tommy Mascari, and any chance I have to support a Christ-centered education for today's youth, I take advantage of that opportunity and support in any way I can with my time, effort, volunteering, funds, and commercials like these.
Together we soar.
Guerin Catholic Sports on IndianaSRN,
where you're always in the game.
we welcome you to Heritage Christian High School, home of the Eagles. A Circle City Conference matchup set for a Friday night in the state of Indiana. The Brebeuf Jesuit Braves come into town to take on the Eagles of Heritage Christian, all coming to you live tonight right here on IndianaSRN. Tonight's broadcast is brought to you by the Morales Group, building better futures one story at a time. Bertner Electric, your licensed and experienced electrician serving Central Indiana. IU Sports Management, a lifetime of sport with a winning degree. Piper Logistics, 3 services, 1 logistical solution. And by Reynolds Farm Equipment, your hometown farm equipment dealer. A pleasant good evening to you. A couple of games tonight on the family of networks, IndianaSRN. And for Ben Wood and myself, Jarrett Lewis, we have the Braves and the Eagles in the Circle City Conference here tonight. For Heritage Christian, the home team, they nearly blew a 14-point lead to Bethesda Christian in their game a couple days ago. That was a 61-59 win in double overtime.
Yeah, and luckily for me, I was there. I got a front row seat to that. It was an absolutely crazy finish. Miles Colvin didn't play the last couple minutes of regulation. Sat out most of the first overtime period. Coach Wallace put him back in. He had a huge dunk to give him the 2-point lead with 10 seconds to go. And then one of the craziest things I ever have seen, with about 5 seconds left, Bethesda was able to get a full-court pass down to the corner. They got a 3 up, but the 3 hit off the guide wire. So it would have been a game winner, but it didn't count. So Heritage, I guess you could say they were a little lucky to come out of there with the W, but all in all, they fought back in that one, and we're now riding a 3-game win streak.
And if you want to see some of the highlights from that game, there is a clip on our Twitter, so go ahead and check that out at IndianaSRN and see how that game finished between Heritage Christian and Bethesda Christian. The Eagles, under head coach Warren Wallace, who's in his second year, are 9-10, a chance to get back to 500, a mark they haven't been at in quite some time. And with this game left and just one game after this one to finish out the regular season, which will most likely be a win at Shortridge, a win here today against a very good conference team in Brebeuf Jesuit could really have Heritage Christian on a high note entering into sectional play.
Yeah, you're 100% right with that, because you look at this Heritage Christian team, they're very talented. They've got some great players. They bring some good guys off the bench, so they've got the pieces to make a good run here in the postseason. I've just noticed they started off the year with a 4-game losing streak, and then about 2 weeks ago they had 4 straight losses. So if you take those away, they've had a pretty successful season, and getting a win against a very talented Brebeuf team would kind of solidify that in their heads, that they can go forward and have a good chance in their sectional, maybe make a run.
And you mentioned some of the guys they have. Obviously, we know of Miles Colvin, the do-it-all guy for Heritage Christian. In that last game with Bethesda, you mentioned Coach Wallace kind of making a statement, having him out for a majority of that fourth quarter and a couple of those overtime periods. So perhaps we could see a guy coming off not his best performance, I believe 14 points in that game a couple days ago. We could see Miles come out and try to make a statement of himself, have a lot of fire shown on the court here tonight.
Yeah, and I think that's what Coach Wallace's intentions was, kind of seeing that Miles was struggling, and he had some words for Coach before he came out, and that's why I think he ultimately sat. But since Miles is only a junior, I think he was trying to prove a point to him that, hey, this isn't going to happen, and hopefully, like you said, this is going to motivate him, and he'll come out here determined on a mission to just take it to the Braves.
And it's important for this Heritage Christian team to play well tonight and then end the season on a high note like we mentioned, because this is a very tough sectional number 42 in Class 2A. There are 6 teams in that sectional, and half of them, actually a majority of them, if you include Covenant and Heritage Christian, who are both 9-10, if you consider that to be right at 500, that means 5 of the 6 teams in that sectional are either 500 or better, including Park Tudor, who's 13-5 this season. They're 2-1 against sectional opponents. Undefeated against sectional opponents is University at 4-0 and a 13-7 regular season record. So Heritage Christian definitely has their hands, their play cut out for them when they enter sectional play. And the sectional draw is just 2 days away. It's on Sunday.
Yeah, it's going to be an interesting matchup, kind of in that sectional, who comes out on top, because you've got Park Tudor, who probably heading into this season was the standalone favorite to come out on that one. But University has slowly kind of crept up and been a sleeper team. They've got a great record, like you mentioned. They've also got some great pieces. They play great team ball. They're a well-coached team. I got to see them actually beat Chittard earlier this season in overtime. So they're a capable team, and Heritage can be right in that mix. Like we've mentioned, they've got the talent to do so. It's just kind of putting it all together and playing a complete game. They can't give up those leads like they did against a team like Bethesda. If they get a lead on, say they play Park Tudor or University, they're going to have to keep their foot on the pedal, and hopefully that's something we'll see here against Brebeuf tonight, coming out with kind of, like you said, a fire underneath them and really kind of establishing the game they want to play against a very good Brebeuf team.
And it's a tough team on that other end in Brebeuf Jesuit. They're in a tough sectional as well. We'll talk a little bit more about the Braves and head coach Todd Howard when we come back from our first break. Tip-off getting closer here from Heritage Christian High School. It's the Braves and the Eagles on IndianaSRN. A top 5 team in Class 3A are the Brebeuf Jesuit Braves, and tonight they're on the road with a 13-6 record, trying to pick up their third conference win on the season as they take on Heritage Christian here tonight. Coming off a very big game against Indianapolis Lutheran, they won that one 69-31, and they're now riding a 2-game winning streak. Alex Gothard, a senior, had the game of his career perhaps, 25 points. He was 6 of 7 from beyond the arc, and as a team, they shot 7 of 18 from 3. Gothard, one of the reasons why that was such a big blowout win for the Braves, and they're riding a lot of momentum coming into this conference matchup.
Yeah, Coach Howard, I think, has his team right where he'd like them playing late in this season. They're sitting at 13-6, so off to a pretty good record, and this team's pretty deep as well. They had, I think, 11 or 12 players get into that Lutheran game and all contributed. You mentioned Gothard, but then they also have Billy Smith, who's just kind of one of those pure scorers, has a great frame. He's going to be playing at the next level, going to Miami of Ohio, and he actually just scored his 1,000th career point for Brebeuf a couple weeks ago, so he's had some great success at the high school level. But also you kind of look at their size. They've got good size throughout, a couple players over 6'4". And then the one thing that kind of sticks out to me that I think will give them an advantage in this game and then maybe heading into sectionals as well is they have 7 seniors as well. So they're an experienced team. They lost last year to a very good Guerin team in that sectional championship. So they're going to be hungry and look to get back right where they were a year ago.
A lot of good leaders on this team. The top 5 scorers are all seniors, and it's most likely going to be a starting 5, including Billy Smith, like you mentioned, who's the top man at 19 points per game, also averages 3.5 rebounds. We'll see Paul Stubblefield in action here tonight, nearly averages 10 points, and also Gothard, like we mentioned, who just came off of a career-high 25 points in their win over Lutheran. Their next 2 games are against pretty decent opponents, including Newcastle, which they face off with tomorrow, and then a conference game against Roncalli, whose record is at 7-12, but anytime it comes to Circle City play, you can throw records out the window, just like you can here tonight with Heritage Christian at 9-10 and Brebeuf with a 13-6 record. We are ready for action here at IndianaSRN. It should be a good one. The all-time series between Brebeuf and Heritage owned by the Braves. The last 28 games, it's an edge for the Braves, 22-6. The last time Heritage Christian defeated the Braves was back in 2017. So it has been a long road that the Braves have created in this matchup with Heritage Christian. We will take one final break before we have tip-off here from Heritage Christian High School.
From warehousing to transportation and everything in between, Piper Logistics does it all. Centrally located, Piper Logistics has 2 warehouses in Indianapolis and a warehouse in Cincinnati, Ohio. Piper Logistics houses over 1 million square feet. Along with our transportation department, we can provide service to half the United States markets.
We encourage you to subscribe to our YouTube channel, IndianaSRN. Hit the bell to get notifications for upcoming games and more. Watch as many games as you want, as many times as you want.
You want a career that creates experiences that are impossible to forget. By studying sports and events at IUPUI, you'll get hands-on experience in and out of the classroom. And with Indy as your classroom, there are high-profile events, sports franchises, hotels, museums, and large organizations across the city to engage, educate, and enlighten your student journey before you graduate. There isn't a better city than Indianapolis to get the experience you need to prepare you to handle any event, big or small. It all starts here.
This is the Frells family's land. When the sun comes out, the kids run and play right there. This used to be a shed. Now, it's where they get breakfast. This is more than just land. It's home. The Frells family runs with us on a John Deere 1 Series tractor. This land isn't the only thing that should live on for generations. Nothing runs like a Deere. Search John Deere 1 Series for more.
Visit Reynolds Farm Equipment, your hometown John Deere dealer today at reynoldsfarmequipment.com.
At Morales Group Staffing, we are all about building better futures. And during these times, we are working hard to put people to work. We are now hiring for hundreds of jobs with pay up to $17 an hour. Visit our website at moralesgroup.net or text JOBS, JOBS, to 317-472-7600 to apply now and get hired today.
We encourage you to follow us on Twitter at IndianaSRN. Find upcoming games, video highlights, and much more. Follow us now at IndianaSRN.
The starting lineup for Brebeuf just introduced. It includes a backcourt of Mariel Puau, Zach Reed, and Alex Gothard, all seniors, as is Billy Smith and Duran Bure. It's a all-senior starting 5 for Coach Todd Howard, who's in his 8th year, a career record of 119 and 66, looking for win number 120 at Brebeuf Jesuit. And now the home team being introduced with their starting 5. Mason Kay, the last one to be introduced. He'll play down low. The rest of the 5 includes Dylan Doss at a guard. Miles Colvin is out there, along with John McLemore and Andrew Wiggins. Your starting 5 tonight for Heritage Christian. We are about to get underway. Sectional draw upcoming on Sunday. Just 1 game left for Heritage after this. 2 regular season contests for Brebeuf Jesuit. Getting closer to postseason play. And both teams playing pretty good basketball here in the later stages of the season as Brebeuf controls the opening tip.
Yeah, both teams 3-2 in their last 5 games. Heritage riding a 3-game win streak.
Billy Smith gets the scoring going. Took a lot of contact, but still able to finish. Their leading scorer this season at 19 points.
It's great, too. He didn't settle there. Took it right at the defense and got to the basket.
First trip down the floor for Heritage Christian. McLemore looking for some movement from his teammates. And right out of the gate, we see Colvin and Smith matched up, both wearing number 11.
Not too often you get to see 2 D1 guys going head-to-head.
Wiggins, no good. Off the backboard, Kay got the offensive rebound and a nice dish. A handoff to Wiggins for his 2. Minute gone by, both teams with 2s up on the scoreboard. In a tough position as Doss is all over Puau. Smith into the corner. He stepped on the line. That was Zach Reed. And the first turnover of the game.
Yeah, Reed, their kind of main ball handler, averages 4 points on the season, leads the team in assists with 2.5 per game.
Slight full court pressure from Brebeuf. Heritage is able to break it, get it across half court. Couple of dribbles from McLemore. The three is off the mark. And the ball is tipped around in the hands of Puau.
Buff doing a much better time boxing out that possession.
Gothard in the corner. They swing it around. Nice runner into the lane as Bure got to the paint.
He's got some good size, and he's actually starting to get looks at the next level. He's gotten offers from Hanover and Ancilla College this season.
Colvin, his first field goal attempt is good. A right wing three from Miles Colvin.
Not much you can do about that as the defense. If you're the defense, had their hand up there, that's just better offense.
A hot start for the Purdue commit, Miles Colvin. Billy Smith is the other D1 commit. Nearly a turnover from the Braves. Smith, nice head fake into the paint, rises up and gets a friendly bounce. Billy Smith with an early 4 points.
And shooter's touch, and you saw Mason Kay there bit on the ball fake right away, and Smith again staying aggressive and putting it on the floor, getting towards the basket.
Now Doss, his turn, right to left crossover, takes some contact, and he'll try a floater. It's good.
And that's kind of his game. He'll get the defenders on their heels and take it right to the bucket.
Not a quick answer from Billy Smith. Ball is still on the hardwood, and a wrestle for it. A jump ball, tie-up favors Heritage Christian.
Those are the kind of plays you can expect from McLemore, but look at this shot right here. Little bit of separation, but here he didn't get out quick enough, and that's all Miles needs to get that shot off.
Lead has swapped a couple of times in this early going. Now Colvin will opt to post up. Fade away from Smith. A couple of bounces, but it doesn't favor him on this end. Braves will head the other way with it. Nice crossover by Reed. He got into the lane. And before he saw Kay give him some contact, looks like this foul is going to be on Dylan Doss. First foul of any kind in this opening quarter. Dump down. Kay guards Puau. They swing it. Smith gets another chance at a three, and it rattles home. Quite the first quarter for Billy Smith. He's got 7 of the 9.
And I bet for him, that shot right there, wide open at the top of the key, that's almost like a layup for him.
A tremendous shooter is Billy Smith. Colvin will try to answer, left it well short.
Smith doing a pretty good job defensively, too. He's holding his own, and last 2 shots by Colvin have been fadeaways.
Gothard trying to keep his hot hand from the previous game. It's an offensive rebound putback for Bure. Him and Smith have all 11 of their points, and it's a timeout on the floor called by Coach Wallace, a 30-second timeout. Serenity Care Services is an Indiana licensed service agency, the friendly, experienced team of caregivers that you have been seeking. Call Angela at 317-900-6202. Serenity Care Services serving Indianapolis and the 5 surrounding areas. So a quick timeout as we're a little over halfway through this first quarter for Heritage Christian. Back to this 3 that goes down for Smith.
Just good ball movement and extra pass, getting it to your shooter. Some textbook scoring going on here between Smith and Bahire.
Still the same 5 out there for Heritage Christian out of the timeout.
And that last possession, too, we saw an offensive rebound that led to second chance points. I think that's somewhere where Brebeuf has the upper hand as well, and we'll see if that plays a factor as this game goes on.
Colvin will try the opposite block, working against Smith. And that's pretty easy for Miles Colvin.
And that's what he should be doing every time. Don't worry about getting a shot off. Worry about getting to the basket. He has the strength in the body to get that upper hand against Smith.
Knocked out from behind by Doss. Nice poke out by Dylan, our first substitution. For Brebeuf, they send Stubblefield in.
Look at this, just good catch right here on the post, and he's just too strong.
New defense from Heritage Christian after Stubblefield checked in. Drive baseline from Burey is what thought to be a block from Wiggins, instead is a foul. And the second team foul on Heritage Christian.
So far, Brebeuf just doing a good job in the half-court offense, moving without the ball. Looks like they're kind of running a 4-out, 1-in motion set. A couple different guys will kind of dump down there and look for post-up opportunities, and they're just finding the open guy.
Burey on the season, just 5 points is what he averages a game, and he just reached that mark. It's pretty wide balanced scoring. A lot of guys that can get you 5, 6, 8 points a game in this deep depth chart of Brebeuf.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy that Smith is their only double-digit scorer with almost 20 points per game. Everyone else is around 8 or 9 or less.
And this is a team that averages 62 on the year. Colvin, turn around, he missed everything, and they'll push it up the floor. Smith has it, drives baseline, gets cut off. Cross-court pass into the corner. Gothard opts to slow down. Gets it back from Reed. Brebeuf spreading out the floor, some weaving. And Reed, right to left cross. Stubblefield, his first action, loses the handle on it. Here goes Colvin, the other way. 2-on-1. Rises up with the right. Miles Colvin, are you kidding me?
And the crazy thing is, all the fans of Heritage Christian, they've seen that before. They're not even up on their feet. That was nuts. Didn't matter that the defender was there, just skied right over him.
Yeah, this is nothing new. We're used to this, is what Heritage Christian fans are saying. Gothard, his second three-point attempt. This time it goes down. He was 6 of 7 in their last game. We mentioned it in the pregame, and he's trying to keep that hot hand here.
I've really been impressed by the looks that Brebeuf has gotten so far. Just about every shot has been a good look.
Offensive foul is the call. They say Macklemore used his off arm and hooked it around the defender. Back to the slam from Colvin.
Yeah, Reed knew better. He thought about jumping. He's like, I'll just get out of the way of this one. Smart choice, young man.
And Reed will now head to the bench and take a seat, as does Burey. The two new guys out for Brebeuf. Puau checks back in. And also Cameron Freeman is out there for the first time. Two-three zone, Colvin and Doss at the top. Smith, nice shot fake, short corner jumper. They have hit the side of the backboard. Offensive rebound. Puau keeps it alive. And it sets up a kick out for Stubblefield. His three's no good. Heritage Christian dodging a bullet there. Colvin, nice bounce pass up the floor. And a finish for Macklemore.
Those are the kind of plays you'd expect from Macklemore. Just kind of a scrappy guy, good basketball IQ, just seems to be in the right spot 9 times out of 10.
Smith, catch and shoot. Makes it look easy. Billy Smith with a 10-point first quarter.
Yeah, he's kind of just been a step ahead of this defense from the tip.
.50 seconds and counting. Heritage Christian with Doss controlling it. See a good turnout from the Brebeuf student section, and they're all gray. The Eagles may opt to hold for one shot, but now they don't have the option as this passes off the mark of Nolan Duncan. Brebeuf will now have the option with 29.7. couple of substitutions for Heritage Christian as well. Dribbling it out is Freeman. Now 8 seconds. Freeman, nice jab step, nice dump down. Puau wasn't ready for it, but he still gets it back. That could be a huge 2 to end the first quarter. It's a 21-point opening period for Brebeuf as they have the edge on Heritage Christian by 8. Second quarter is coming up next here on Indiana SRN after this replay from Smith. He had 10 of those 21 in the first quarter. Second quarter is next.
From warehousing to transportation and everything in between, Piper Logistics does it all. Centrally located, Piper Logistics has 2 warehouses in Indianapolis and a warehouse in Cincinnati, Ohio. Piper Logistics houses over 1 million square feet. Along with our transportation department, we can provide service to half the United States markets.
Can't get to a computer? Then we've got you covered. Just go to the IndianaSRN app and stay up to date with all of your favorite teams. You can watch live coverage or relive the experience with our on-demand service.
Welcome back to Heritage Christian High School. After one, Brebeuf sees 10 of the 21 come from their leading point scorer in Billy Smith, including hitting 2 threes.
And Jared, there was only 2 or 3 possessions where they came up without any points, so they were really firing on all cylinders.
Smith trying another 3, not this time, but a second chance. Puau fades away and left it well short. It was good defense the second time around from Heritage. Doss, no one picks him up. That shot may have been deflected. And now Brebeuf will pick up the pace a little bit. Freeman, hands off. Now Gothard in the corner. He'll try again. And Gothard, he has 2 threes of his own.
Looks like he hasn't cooled off from that Lutheran game. He's picking up right where he left off.
He scored 25 points, went 6 of 7 from 3. Colvin, pretty good move. Takes a lot of contact, and Colvin, looks like he was reaching for his face. He got hit. There is a foul on Brebeuf. It's going to go on Mariel Puau. Back to the 3 from Gothard.
A shooter like that on a hot streak, that doesn't get too much easier for him.
Colvin stays out there. So they have an out-of-bounds play. Wiggins finally able to get it in. Doss gets cut off and nearly had it stolen away. Brebeuf bench, they like the defense.
Good active hands so far this possession.
Now McLemore wants to slow things down.
The ref's actually giving him a count right now, yeah.
And they do get the 5-second call. McLemore had no idea. And actually kind of looked like a, do I call this or do I not, from the referee, but he does indeed put the 5 fingers up.
I think there was some influence from Coach Howard's coaching staff on that one, maybe.
And a crucial turnover because you trail by 9 and a chance for your first double-digit lead for Brebeuf Jesuit. Drive, baseline, Stubblefield beat everybody.
Yeah, just a good take off the dribble there, realizing no one stepped up on the help side.
Macklemore, nice pass back to Wiggins. Colvin almost had a putback slam. Up the floor to Stubblefield. He's got to keep it back in play, and it's into the hands of Colvin. Maybe a clear path foul is what Cameron Freeman is thinking about there. You don't want to see another slam upcoming from Miles Colvin.
No, that's not a bad foul there by Freeman to kind of stop the momentum that the Eagles had. And make them set up here for an out-of-bounds look.
This time they'll run everybody in a line. They get it into Doss. Brebeuf well on top of that three-point look. They try to get to Broderick. Colvin looks back for a play from Coach Wallace. At the elbow. Puts it down. Miles Colvin. He's out with 9 points.
Good lift on that shot. Got to the elbow. Knew where he wanted to go with it. Just a confident-looking stroke.
An 11-point lead. Stubblefield tries to add to it, which he does. A tough finish from Paul Stubblefield.
That one much tougher than his first bucket. Went over 2 defenders there and took some contact.
4 points off the bench this quarter for Paul Stubblefield, who is also one of those many seniors that Brebeuf has. Broderick had a look, but couldn't convert.
And this might turn into a long night for Heritage. Even the open looks aren't getting knocked down.
Stubblefield likes his matchup, and he goes right at the defender. They don't count the bucket. But Brebeuf still has possession this end of the floor. A couple of substitutions. Nolan Duncan has checked in. Also, Lewis Staten for the first time is out there. I want to remind you this broadcast is copyrighted by IndianaSRN and the Indiana High School Athletic Association. For the private use of our audience, the use of pictures, video, or audio without the express written permission of the IHSAA is prohibited. Pass into the corner. Good defense this time from Heritage Christian as Brebeuf works the ball around. Smith loses the handle. We got a foul as it was Zach Reed driving in. I think they got Nolan Duncan with the personal. And another whistle. Offensive foul. Moving screen called against the Braves as both teams kind of go back and forth with their fouls.
I believe that's Puau's second.
That's what I have him for. It's still just 3 team fouls for Brebeuf. Eagles trying to cut into this deficit. Colvin from Puau. And that could be number 3 on him if our numbers are right. Somebody's going to check in for him, it looks like. No, that's just the second on Puau. Looked like Jake Hogan was heading to the scores table. Colvin at the free throw line. First one does not fall. First free throws of any kind for Heritage Christian. Colvin's second free throw this time is good.
Colvin just quick first step there, beat his initial defender, and then Puau had to come step up to protect the rim.
Stubblefield. He's been feeling it in the second quarter. Trying to score yet again. Avoids the help side defender that came in. Paul Stubblefield has 6 consecutive points for Brebeuf.
And all of his points have come off the dribble. It just seems like he's been a step faster than everyone with the ball in his hands.
Stubblefield is second on the team in scoring, and he came off the bench tonight. Doss with a lot of dribbling. Nice spin move into the paint. No foul called as Hogan came over, and it's awarded to the Braves.
And the thing Hogan did there, he didn't reach with his arms. He kind of just went straight up here, and we'll get another look. Stubblefield just blows by his defender here. No help, too. You see Colvin with his back turned. Doss comes over too late, so lack of communication there on a couple defenders there for the Eagles.
That was Staten, who he was able to use his speed and get around. Now the Braves, their largest lead so far is at 14. Wide open, Gothard, far side. Can't capitalize. Colvin with a tough board. Behind the back, loses the handle. Colvin and Gothard on the floor. It'll stay on this end with the Eagles. Miles may have been lucky not to pick up a foul there.
He was kind of diving for that ball, went right at Gothard. And luckily enough for the Eagles, it's going to stay with them.
Austin Snively has the basketball. The last time these two teams met was a year ago tomorrow. It was a 75-51 trounced for Brebeuf Jesuit. In the corner, high arcing three from Snively.
That ball went out of frame for a second there. It got so high up in the air. But that was some much needed offense. Didn't really matter who it came from, but Snively was the one to come in and knock it down.
A huge bucket picked up for Snively. 11-point advantage for Brebeuf. Everybody getting in touch with the basketball. Gothard goes off a screen. Nice pick and roll. And the finish for Jake Hogan.
That entry pass was something pretty, though. You saw right there, Gothard takes one dribble and then uses a little bit of spin on that to get that ball in there.
Just 6 points this quarter so far for Heritage Christian. The shot's off the mark from Colvin. Second quarter right now being owned by Brebeuf. Gothard will try to add to it. Halfway down and out.
And hopefully Gothard doesn't get discouraged by those last two misses. Both of them were pretty much hit every part of the rim before rattling out. So I wouldn't really worry about those misses if I were him, especially if he's getting open ones like that last one.
Gothard swipes it away. Numbers for Brebeuf. Up to Hogan. He puts it down with two. Jake Hogan has some people kind of widening their eyes. They may have not been expecting a jam like that with the defense coming in late from Heritage Christian, and Coach Wallace has to use another timeout. It's a full timeout. His team down 15 with 1:24 left in the second quarter. Back here at Heritage Christian High School, all of a sudden the Braves are up by 15 points on the home team. Back to the two-handed flush.
Big man running the floor and getting rewarded. He's had a good impact here off the bench. We've seen him make some plays on the defensive side, and a quick 4 points for him. As you see him just get up there and sneak that one in.
10 of the 13 points this quarter, Ben, have come from guys off of the bench for Brebeuf.
And I mean, we kind of saw that coming into this game, how deep their team is and just kind of the way they spread this out. But that is textbook guard play there by Gothard to kind of drag out that ball screen so he can get an angle and get a good look for Hogan at the rim.
Meanwhile, Colvin and Snively have been the only two to connect in this quarter for their 6 points. A count from the referee. Brebeuf wanted another 5-second call. McLemore will use his left hand, has to reverse course, a dump down to Wiggins. Two defenders around him, but it doesn't matter. Andrew Wiggins with another two.
And it seems like so far it's been McLemore's kind of the only one creating open opportunities for his teammates. Everyone else is just trying to get open looks off the dribble.
Reed sees Dorsch out on him. First action tonight for Jonathan Dorsch. A drive baseline. Wiggins used the left foot appropriately.
A good help side defense there by Wiggins. Also Dorsch you saw come over and was under the rim trying to shut off any look at the basket.
Doss and Colvin get quick breathers, and now they're back out onto the floor. Smith Sees a lot of space, able to get around Colvin. Doesn't hit the shot, but Hogan somehow with the tip in.
It looks like it's Hogan's night tonight. I mean, coming in, getting some dunks, getting some lucky putbacks. He's doing it all.
Him and Stubblefield now have hit 3 2-point field goals in this quarter. Doss, as the final seconds tick down, wants to get it to Colvin. These two have been fun to watch in this opening half. Doss, 2 seconds, has to put up a 3, rims out, and that's how the first half ends. Brebeuf Jesuit outscores the Eagles 15-8 in that second quarter. It'll be a huge hole to climb out of for Heritage Christian in this second half, trying to get to 500 on the season and possibly pick up their third conference win, as is Brebeuf Jesuit. A good first half for the Braves. They lead 36-21. It's now time for our halftime show here on IndianaSRN. We'll be back after a couple of messages and the second half between Brebeuf and Heritage Christian.
Today, greed, selfish interest, and barefaced corruption seem all the fashion. America needs great men of tolerance who can give honest debate to the great issues of the day. I'm seeing mostly squabbling, men squandering their time, being wolves to one another. Yet, I'm not without hope. We still have Freemasonry. Yes, the same Freemasons that helped create this country have always provided great men when needed. And today, in every city and town in America, Freemasonry is still providing that special place where young men can find their greatness and accomplished men can give something back. Yes, in this time of great hope, it is my hope that America will see that Freemasonry is a national treasure that cannot be separated from our country's future.
You want a career that creates experiences that are impossible to forget. By studying sports and events at IUPUI, you'll get hands-on experience in and out of the classroom. And with Indy as your classroom, there are high-profile events, sports franchises, hotels, museums, and large organizations across the city to engage, educate, and enlighten your student journey before you graduate. There isn't a better city than Indianapolis to get the experience you need to prepare you to handle any event, big or small. It all starts here.
Becoming a licensed sports official is a great way to make a positive difference in the community and support the over 160,000 Indiana student athletes that participate across 22 IHSAA sports. Sports officiating allows you to stay connected to the game, become a role model for our young student athletes, earn extra money, and support the patrons and communities of our IHSAA member schools. To learn more about becoming a licensed IHSAA official, log on to ihsaa.org/officials today.
I am Heritage.
Heritage Christian. We are Heritage.
I am Heritage.
We are Heritage.
You're good at keeping the car clean. We're good at your insurance.
Start with Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance, online, over the phone, or in person, and stop knocking on wood.
High school sports fans, welcome back to Game Time, to pure spirits, to pure sport. Welcome back to high school sports.
Fans, I'm IHSAA Commissioner Paul Knighty, and I just want to say, welcome back.
This is Game Time. This is Indiana high school sports. This is your IHSAA.
Welcome back to the second half of our Circle City matchup between Heritage Christian and Brebeuf. It's a 15-point advantage for the Braves. They have 4 players with exactly 6 points. They are led in scoring by Billy Smith with 10 points, all those coming in the first quarter. Alongside Ben Wood, I'm Jarrett Lewis. Thanks so much for spending your Friday night with us here on IndianaSRN. Balanced scoring like we expected from Brebeuf, and for Heritage Christian, it's been a lot of Miles trying to figure some things out on his own, scoring the basketball. He's got 10 points, but their second man up is Andrew Wiggins with 4. They're going to have to need multiple guys kind of step up and try to find some shots, I think.
Yeah, definitely. Just the offense as a whole needs to kind of find its rhythm. We saw at the start of the game, it seemed like Brebeuf and Heritage were going to change baskets. I believe it was 11-7 at one point. And then Heritage just kind of fell off a cliff, and Brebeuf just kept hammering away. And got to give Billy Smith some credit. Great teammate. Got his team going in the first quarter, and he said, all right, I'll let you guys do some of the scoring here. In the second quarter, we saw some great bench play from Stubblefield and Hogan coming in with 6 points apiece. And really, it's just been Heritage hasn't been able to find really too many open looks, and even when they're getting open looks, they're not knocking them down. So that's going to have to change. They're just going to have to hit some shots, and if they want to get back in this one, and it seems like at this point they're going to have a hard time stopping the offense for Brebeuf, because it seems like every time they're making the right plays, making the extra pass, and either getting a wide open jump shot or a look around the rim.
They're so good with the basketball, too, especially you watch Smith and the moves, and he's always thinking one step ahead. It seems like he could catch the ball beyond the three-point line, and he knows there's going to be a hard closeout, and he shows off his tremendous dribbling ability and his ability to attack the rim. He's just such a complete player. And to score 10 points all in that first quarter, but like you said, he got other players involved. Other guys stepped up. Gothard hit a 3 in that second quarter. He's got 2 made from downtown, and then Stubblefield and Hogan, like we mentioned, all 6 of their points coming into that second quarter, coming off of the bench.
Yeah, so for Heritage Christian, you see Walls kind of going over maybe their first couple set plays here to start off this second half. It's really going to be huge. If they can get a couple buckets here early and maybe get this lead back down to 10, we could maybe see some hope. But just kind of the way that first half closed, it seems like Brebeuf is really showing no signs of slowing down.
Heritage will come back out on the floor, this time going to our left. Brebeuf will start with the check that. Heritage will go toward the left, and they will start with the basketball. The same starting 5 out there for Coach Wallace. And it looks like the same 5 also for Brebeuf. Jesuit Doss will bring it across. First play out of the gate. He'll drive. Tough take and the finish. Nicely done off the glass from Dylan Doss.
Excellent take there by Doss, realizing he had the defender beat around the corner and got all the way to the rim and didn't settle.
Gothard was 2 of 5 in that first half, and he's now shooting 50%.
We kind of touched on this after he missed those back-to-back threes in the second quarter, that those shouldn't really deter him from other looks, and that one just right in rhythm, steps into it about as smooth as it can get for him.
Now 5 triples made for the Brebeuf team, and just 2 on the side for Heritage Christian. They're going to need a couple more in this second half. Okay, extends the offense out. Doss comes off of a screen. Back into the paint again is Dylan. And Smith actually got a hand on it. Colvin. Him and Doss working that side of the floor. Another tough drive by Dillon, not giving up. That's a tough shot. Good defense applied there from Zach Reed.
Even better job by Reed not to foul there.
Reed brings it the other way. Nice ball handling from Smith, and he finds enough space. 2 possessions, 2 threes for the Braves.
Even the smallest amount of space for a shooter like Billy Smith is too much. And right there, the defender came out with his hands down, and it's too late.
Heritage with a much-needed answer here. Colvin backs down on Smith. Turnaround J is good for Miles.
And we've seen throughout this game that Miles is comfortable taking those kind of fadeaway jumpers. I think that's something you'll see him kind of get better at as the rest of this season progresses and in the offseason as well.
Smith has Wiggins switched out on him. They throw it over the defense, and Puau puts it in. A well-placed pass over the outstretched arms of Kay.
Yeah, it started with the pass, but give Puau some credit with that catch. Kept it right at his chin and didn't waste any time going up with it.
Doss, he's been looking to attack and get to the lane. This time he's going to be able to draw a foul. Nice energy start here from Dylan Doss.
Doss playing in his first season with Heritage Christian. I think he's going to have a big step up from his junior to senior season. And Doss kind of has a low center of gravity, very shifty. We've seen he likes to utilize that spin move right when he gets to the elbow to try and create some separation inside the paint. And it's paid off a few times tonight.
It's just the 3rd free throw attempt so far tonight for Heritage Christian. Doss is able to connect. 2nd free throw is also good.
He's the 2nd leading scorer behind Colvin in that win against Bethesda with 13 points.
Reed dribbles to his right. Screens away from the ball, trying to get their shooters open. Smith is one of them. He sets a screen.
Wiggins really working hard this defensive possession. He's switched on to multiple players.
They get a foul underneath on Duncan. Him and Puau were each trying to gain position. Out of bounds under Puau from the free throw line. Just a long, lengthy player, tough to stay in front of. Just kind of slithers his way to the basket.
Yeah, felt the defender kind of favor that left side, so he quickly turned to his right and got a good look at the rim.
20-point Brebeuf lead. Smith does not want to see Colvin with the basketball.
He's done a great job just denying even entry passes to Colvin.
Duncan, a couple of shot fakes, and is able to draw a foul. Going to go against Buhere.
Look at this nice move, just Miles getting some separation.
Definitely, we've seen it as the season's gone on, but from his game from last year, a huge step up. His ability to get into that mid-range and create enough space to rise up.
Yeah, it's been impressive because that was probably one of his most glaring issues, was his lack of ability to shoot from outside, and he's definitely made up for that this year, and I think it'll only get better as he heads into this offseason and his senior season as well.
2 missed free throws from Duncan. An empty trip for Heritage Christian. Drive from Gothard. Knew where Smith was, into the corner. It's another 3 for Billy Smith, make it 4.
Lighting it up, man. This second half, we mentioned it didn't seem like Brebeuf was slowing down, but I think they've even ramped it up another notch.
At the halfway point, Brebeuf has 3 triples this quarter. Duncan. Nothing going right now for Heritage Christian. And nobody picks up Reed. He steps into a 3. It was halfway home. And Coach Howard likes what he's seeing. Into the corner. 3 is good for Allemeyer.
big answer there for the Eagles. Let's see if this can kind of spark something on the defensive end. They can string together a few stops here.
Smith dribbling around the entire half court. He gets it back. Thought about a three. This time it's Reed again. He missed the last trip down, but he makes up for it.
And that possession kind of exemplifies what has gone well for Brebeuf here against Heritage Christian tonight. They've missed some open shots. They've tended to get the offensive board and get another look at it. And that time, Smith passed up a good shot for an even better shot for Reed from the wide open from the wing.
8 3-point field goals tonight for Brebeuf. Colvin at the elbow. Tough looking shot, but he makes it look easy.
Good face up, realizing Smith has his hands down on the catch.
Smith, another impressive shot fake. Into the corner. On the drive, huge swat from Colvin. Gothard gets it back, a runner in the lane. It's no good. And Heritage sees a rebound from Dylan Doss down under.
Bahire took that one back. He had Gothard wide open on the wing, and you leave a player like that open, he gets the shot up. That's almost money.
Wiggins thought about posting up, sets a crossing screen for Allermeyer. It's tipped out by Brebeuf. Subscribe to the newsletter of The Advocate at IHSAAfoundation.org. We want to thank the IHSAA Foundation for what they're doing for our student athletes. As Heritage Christian has this out of bounds under play. 1:51 left to go in this third quarter. Allermeyer, hand check foul going against Zach Reed. And I believe that's number 2 on him. Also, speaking of the IHSAA, if you want to get involved in the game of basketball, you can become an IHSAA official. Contact Sandra Walter at ihsaa.org/officials or at 317-846-6601. Missed shot from the Eagles and a quick turnaround layup will fall for Freeman.
It's a rare kind of in-transition bucket we've seen from Brebeuf. They've been doing most of their damage in the half court.
And for Freeman, he becomes the 8th different scorer tonight for the Braves. And they lead by 22. Wiggins, turnaround. Good defense by Puow. Stubblefield will bring it across with some pace. Smith again! Billy Smith has 5 3-pointers.
I guess he saw what Gothard did against Luther, and he said, all right, I can match that.
Gothard went 6 of 7, and I think Smith might be 5 of 6. We know he's missed 1. It might be 2. But the offense and the shooting is clicking tonight for Brebeuf Jesuit. They have 5 threes in the corner. Heritage can't answer. And now some tempo. Reed will do it all himself. Good defense from Wiggins. Second chance for Stubblefield, and he's fouled.
You can see Reed a little frustrated with himself here. Just a great find in transition by Stubblefield to get it to your shooter. And Reed, I was mentioning, had a chance to get Smith another look, that time from the right side in transition, but decided to keep it for himself.
Billy Smith with 9 in the quarter. And that's how much Heritage Christian has as a team. No, check that. Heritage has 11 points, but Smith, nonetheless, has seen some hot shooting continue into this second half.
Coming into this game, he's made 49 threes on the season. Their leading 3-point shooter.
Dribbling around everybody in a finish. There's Snively again. Knocked down that 3 in the far corner back in the second quarter. Dump down pass is stolen away. Allermeyer behind the back. Nice dribbling by Allermeyer, able to shake a couple of defenders.
And then a good pass down low to get it to Wiggins.
Last foul going against Freeman. Colvin, quick breather, 5.8 left on this clock for Heritage Christian. McLemore. Tough drive. A lot of contact there between him and Michael Irk. Foul was on the ground. Actually, no, that's what the fans are saying. They thought the foul was on the ground, the Brebeuf faithful, but it is a shooting foul for McLemore.
McLemore was on a mission to get to the rim there. Didn't matter who was in front of him.
Clock stops at 2.6. First free throw no good for McLemore, who has just 2 points. They came back in that first quarter. Make sure you stick around after the game for the Family Source Insurance post-game show. Family Source Insurance, we have you covered. Auto, home, life, or business. Call them today, 317-884-8046. Second free throw good. Brebeuf. The length of the floor. Football pass. Smith, another no. Nearly notched his sixth triple. But still an impressive third quarter scoring for Brebeuf Jesuit. They put up 22 points in that quarter and now lead by 23. One of those threes from Smith into that quarter. The Braves on their way to going 3-1 in the Circle City. Fourth quarter coming up next on IndianaSRN.
Needing to hire someone to take care of your loved one when you're away? Maybe your family member just needs someone to talk to when you're not around. Why not contact Indiana licensed Serenity Care Services? Call Angela, owner of Serenity Care Services, at 317-900-6202. Our team of trained and experienced personal care providers are licensed to serve seniors requiring companion care and light housekeeping services in Indianapolis and its 5 surrounding counties. Call us today at 317-900-6202. Now hiring qualified applicants.
A huge third quarter for Brebeuf Jesuit. They led by 15 at the half. They now lead by 23. So we enter the fourth quarter of play along with Ben Wood, Jarrett Lewis alongside here on IndianaSRN. Able to outscore Heritage Christian 22-14. One of those threes from Gothard to get that third quarter started.
Yeah, I believe that was the one that kind of showed Smith, hey, bucket's wide open here. Let's start firing away from three. And they combined, Brebeuf did, to knock down 5 3-pointers in that third quarter alone.
They have 9 altogether. Gothard has hit 1 in every quarter for all 9 of his points. Smith will try a 2, but it's good defense. Shot was blocked by Snively. And now here goes Colvin the other way. Dump down. Help side defense comes over. Freeman thought he had a jump ball there, but the referee says otherwise.
I think the biggest difference between these two teams is it seems like when Brebeuf is in the half-court offense, every guy is moving around no matter where the ball is, where you'll see Heritage Christian, they'll dump the ball off to either the wing or down on the post, and everyone kind of sits there and stands around for a couple seconds and allows the defense to get settled in.
Steal by Stubblefield. What a Euro step, but he can't get it to fall. And now numbers the other way for Heritage. Wiggins opts the dump to Colvin, who jumps up and puts it in with 2.
And Jared, how awesome would it be to just take one step and be able to two-hand flush it like that? I mean, it has to feel good.
A man can dream, right? Stubblefield draws a foul. Colvin looked like he wanted the oop, and I think Wiggins saw it at just the last second. Yeah. Foul underneath going on Heritage Christian. That's Luke Peters. And nearly everybody has gotten into the game for Heritage Christian. Stubblefield's first free throw is good.
Stubblefield on the season, a 74% free throw shooter.
Not very many free throws tonight from either team. Brebeuf has shot it pretty well. They're 5 of 6.
I mean, I'm going to jinx it, but it's been a pretty fast-moving game for the most part. And with this deficit, I think you can expect the same for the rest of the way out.
Snively gets cut off, reverses course, sees Peters. Man falls down, and Wiggins is there to clean it up. Full court press here from Heritage Christian. They got to do something here in the final 6.5. Stubblefield avoids the defender. Well done by Paul Stubblefield. Definitely the sixth man tonight for Brebeuf Jesuit.
I was going to say, he's quietly had a really good game. I believe most of it, his points have either come right at the rim for layups or at the free throw line.
They bring the double on Colvin, and whoa, that had some heat behind it.
Yeah, we're lucky no one was sitting there right in that second row. Otherwise, their head might have gotten taken clean off.
Yeah, the lone guy sitting on that front row right behind Irk nearly took one right to the dome.
Oh, yeah.
If the Braves hold on, they will move to 14-6 on the year. Stubblefield again just finds a way. Wide open is Snively. Second three for him tonight.
A solid 8 points off the bench for Snively.
Brebeuf averages 62 on the year. They've gone over that mark, and we still have 5.5 minutes left to go. Gothard, can he make it 4? He can't. And if that one goes down, that's a 3 in every quarter for Gothard. Colvin dribbles around everybody. And another two-handed jam for Miles Colvin. 18 points for Miles, nothing new. Stubblefield, top of the key. No good on that three, tipped out. Second chance. And as Freeman gathered it in, he got fouled.
That was Jake Hogan down there keeping the possession alive, but another quick look at that quick rise and two-hand flush from Colvin.
And the noise can be about times 10, times 20 if you see something like that happen in Mackey in 2 years from now.
I'm sure he's counting down those days.
But this Brebeuf Jesuit team proving to be just too much tonight. One of the reasons they're in the top of this Circle City Conference, which with a win here, they will have sole possession of first place. Snively out top to Wiggins. And sneaking in for a steal was Gothard. Quick active hands. And quickly on the speed, Colvin got his hand on it. They're going to count the bucket for Cameron Freeman.
I don't know if Colvin hit the ball there or if it was the rim, but definitely heard something and interfered with that shot.
It's all Brebeuf tonight as the Braves reach the halfway point of this fourth and final quarter. Two guys in double figures for them tonight. Smith has 19. Stubblefield off the bench has added 13. 8 different guys have scored. Get another look at this, and that's a good call by the official. Wiggins, post up, sees 3 defenders come over and is able to get it back and draw a foul.
I'm surprised we haven't seen them try and work the ball down there to Wiggins. He's a little bit undersized down there, but he's got a much wider frame than all those Brebeuf players.
6 points tonight for Wiggins. First free throw does go in for him. If you want to take an in-depth look at all things Indiana High School basketball, you can do so with Troy D and the coach, Keith Myers. Every Monday they have Basketball Weekly for you on IndianaSRN and also at our sports page. Check out Basketball Weekly on IndianaSRN. Perfect trip for Wiggins. 20-point advantage still. Smith, not this time. Wiggins with a tough rebound and some numbers the other way. Doss back into the lane. He did that very well in that third quarter. He had 4 points in the third.
Seeing Coach Wallace tell his team to ramp up the pressure here.
Tough spot there. Colvin came on help side defense. Him and Doss trying to trap Gothard. For the first time, Merrick Macaluso checks in. And a nice round of applause for Gothard, who just checked out. We also see a timeout on the floor. Stops the clock at 3:11. It's a full timeout called by Heritage Christian. We'll take a break with them as Brebeuf leads by 18 here late in the fourth quarter.
We encourage you to subscribe to our YouTube channel, IndianaSRN. Hit the bell to get notifications for upcoming games and more. Watch as many games as you want, as many times as you want.
Back at Heritage Christian High School, Circle City Conference matchup. Brebeuf, they've led pretty much the entire way. A couple of lead changes early in that first quarter. But ever since then, it's been all Braves. Finally able to shake him was Freeman. Floater into the lane, does not go, but some contact and a foul. Free throws upcoming for Reese Butcher.
First time mentioning his name tonight. One of the lone underclassmen getting some playing time in this Brebeuf lineup. Only a sophomore.
Macaluso and Freeman, juniors coming off the bench. Jake Hogan, one of those seniors. 7 of them for Brebeuf Jesuit.
You know, if they shoot the ball like they did tonight, they're gonna have a good chance against anyone coming up in their sectional. It doesn't really matter who it is, because I think you look at their sectional, like you'd say probably Guerin and Chittard. In Brebeuf, there isn't really one that's clear far and away better than one another. It'll probably just come down to who's hitting shots that night. Are they getting open looks?
It's a 6-team sectional, and half of those teams are from the Circle City. And then you throw Lebanon in there, who is the host of sectional 27. And they are 14-7 on the year. 4 of the 6 teams are over 500.
I believe IndianaSRN will be there, so we'll have the coverage. I know for a fact the championship game. I don't know if we'll be there for kind of the opening rounds, but either way, whatever happens in that championship game, I think it'll be a good matchup, no matter what 2 teams make it there.
Again, sectional draw coming up this Sunday, so just 2 days. Wiggins, another perfect trip, 4-4 from the free throw line. And he's into double digits with 10.
Always good to see the big man knocking down his free throws.
Double team comes over, and Coach Howard wanted to get a timeout in, but instead he'll see a foul. Fouls on Colvin. Next team foul from Heritage. Brebeuf will shoot 1-1 the rest of the way.
I love the determination there by Coach Howard. Even up 17, doesn't want to give up the possession.
Irk uses the left, a huge swat from Colvin. Macaluso tracks it down, and another chance for Brebeuf. Step back, his first bucket is a 3.
Can't say I was expecting that.
Michael Irk from downtown shows that he's got some range. Ten different scores after that Irk 3. Colvin sees a triple team. Nice cut by Duncan, but he couldn't handle the pass. Going the other way, Euro step. Perhaps a foul, or perhaps not. Coach Howard wants an explanation, as that was a pretty good drive there from Freeman. Doss. No good on that 3. Final 90 seconds start to tick down. Macaluso sees a double team. Into the corner. Far side, that 3 is knocked down for Reese Butcher. Clock stops at 1:17. Looks to be just a substitution timeout for Coach Howard. New guys check in are Evan Haywood and Alex Hill. Another look at the step back from Irk.
I know you mentioned, I think their last game that Brebeuf hit 9 threes against Lutheran, and we thought maybe we wouldn't see that mark get topped here tonight, but that hasn't been the case. Everyone contributing from behind the arc. This one's from deep.
And Butcher hits the 11th 3 tonight for Brebeuf Jesuit. Trying to extend their winning streak to 3 games. They have 2 games left to finish out this regular season. A tough matchup coming up tomorrow. They'll be on the road again at the world's largest high school field house at Newcastle.
Can we talk about this? Is this a gray out? What's going on here?
Everybody's got jumpsuits. They all look like wrestlers.
I think the state tournament is going on, so that might be part of it, but I don't know. You got a lot of gray. Even the girls are getting involved with it, so
it's a pretty good turnout. We haven't heard much from that student section, but their team has led by 10 or more for 3 of the 4 quarters tonight. Out of bounds. Braves will take it back. Colvin will exit for the last time. And he leaves with 18 points. Landon Schnippel comes in for him.
Jared, I got to ask you, since they're all wearing gray, are you the kind of guy that'll go out in a growl fit?
You know, as you get older, you start to get some fashion tips from people close to you, and I've learned that the grout fit is not the way to go.
Yeah, I try to steer clear of it if I can, but if I'm just at home lounging, wow, what a block.
Huge block from Wiggins, but there's Macaluso to score his first points. Whistling a foul committed by Haywood. Looks like everyone we have listed here on the Brebeuf roster has checked in tonight.
Just about everyone besides, I think, Haywood and Hill.
Haywood's out there, and so is Jaron Bowling. So all 15 guys. Back to the block from Wiggins. All 15 guys have checked in tonight for Coach Todd Howard. Here's a good free throw from Landon Schnippel.
And I have 11 of them as scoring, so just a good team effort.
Same thing for Heritage Christian. All 15 of their guys have come into the ball game. So we see Carter Klopfenstein for the first time. Quite the performance tonight for Brebeuf Jesuit. They have 75 up on the board. And as this bucket goes down, we see that that was the score from last year, 75-51, but adding on to that total was Bowling. That was the exact same score.
Yeah, that would have been pretty crazy.
I mean, coach should know those things. Hey, let's bring it back out. Right. Back-to-back years, it's a 75-51 final score.
But it's also just been impressive over the now 29 meetings that these two teams have had together that Brebeuf has just dominated this series as much as they have.
Yeah, they sure have. It's been the last 5 games now with this one that are going in favor of Brebeuf Jesuit. The last win for Heritage Christian was a 48-47 victory in 2017. Duncan scores for the first time. A steal, but losing the basketball out of bounds was Broderick. Just 4.9 left to go in this one. The Braves will next meet up with, like we said, Newcastle tomorrow, and then finish out the season in a Circle City bout with Ron Colley. Braves win it 77-53. Your final score here tonight. They move on to 14-6 on the year, 3-1 in the Circle City. Heritage drops to 9-11 and 2-3 in Circle City Conference play. We'll take a break, be back with our upcoming schedule here on IndianaSRN, and then later give you our final numbers and player of the game. It's Indiana High School basketball here on IndianaSRN.
Burtner Electric Incorporated has been proudly serving our residential and commercial customers with quality electrical repair for over 33 years. We are fully licensed and insured in electrical wiring and electrician service packages. You'll receive a competitive assessment whether you're a homeowner or a business owner, first-time or long-time customer. We offer free estimates for any new project. Call our licensed and experienced electricians today.
Can't make it to the game? We've got your back. Just go to www.IndianaSRN.org and tune in to all of the live action, or go to our on-demand service and relive your favorite moments.
Welcome back to Heritage Christian High School. It is our Family Source Insurance post-game show on IndianaSRN. Final score tonight, 77-53, Brebeuf Jesuit in an impressive fashion, able to dominate Heritage Christian for most of this ball game. Want to take a look at this upcoming schedule on IndianaSRN. Tomorrow we have HCAC track and field at Defiance College. That is a 1 p.m. start on hcac.tv. And then 2 girls semi-state games that we will have for you from Jasper High School. The first one at 4 p.m. is a 2A matchup with University and Forest Park. Myself and Sean Kroll on the call of that one. Looking forward to that game and that environment. Jasper always a good host site for semi-state ball games. And then the nightcap in 4A, Morrisville takes on Franklin Community. That is a 6:30 approximate start with Jimmy Cook and Sean Kroll on the call for that one. And then boys games throughout the week. Next week on IndianaSRN leading up to sectional play. Make sure you follow us on Twitter, Facebook, as well as YouTube, so you're always updated with our upcoming schedule here on IndianaSRN. We'll take one final break, be back with final stats, notes, and the player of the game between Heritage Christian and Brebeuf Jesuit.
You want a career that fuels your passion for sports and physical activity. IUPUI School of Health and Human Sciences offers that and more. You'll have insider access to sports, fitness, and exercise science professionals and learn from faculty with years of industry experience. And with Indy as your classroom, you'll study next to world-class sports facilities, Olympic governing bodies, the NCAA, and the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. There isn't a better city than Indianapolis to get the experience you need to launch your sports industry career. It all starts here.
Can't get to a computer? Then we've got you covered. Just go to the IndianaSRN app and stay up to date with all of your favorite teams. You can watch live coverage or relive the experience with our on-demand service.
Back for one final time to wrap up the Family Source Insurance postgame show on Indiana SRN, along with Ben Wood. My name is Jarrett Lewis. Your final numbers tonight, leading everyone in scoring, is Billy Smith with 19 points. He made 5 3-pointers. The second man in double figures tonight, Paul Stubblefield, coming off the bench tonight for Coach Howard. He finishes with 13, 9 points for Alex Gothard, all of them via the three-pointer. And then 8 other scorers for Brebeuf Jesuit. They had 11 total guys get into the box score. Here's one of the threes from Billy Smith, top of the key. And Smith was just feeling it the entire game, you can tell. And for Heritage Christian, led in scoring tonight by Miles Colvin. He had 18 points, 10 points for Andrew Wiggins, 8 points each for Dylan Doss and Austin Snively. And it comes up in a losing effort. Another one of those knockdown triples for Billy Smith, who is also our player of the game tonight.
Yeah, rightfully so. Kind of came out in that first quarter and set the tone on the offensive side for the Braves. Had 10 points in the first quarter and then did the same thing in the third quarter. Came out and did all of his damage from behind the three-point line. Added 3 more threes to his scoring total, and he hit his season average right on the head at 19 points per game. So good night by him. But really, I've been most impressed by just how well they were able to score or spread the scoring around. You mentioned, I think, 12 guys in total ended up scoring in this one. And it just seemed like whoever came in, didn't matter who it was, they were going to get an open look. And when they did, they were going to knock it down. So a great job by Coach Howard and his team tonight on the offensive end.
The Braves keep the hot shooting going as they put up 77 on Heritage Christian. They win it by 24 points, and they're now 3-1 in the Circle City Conference. They sit atop that conference all by themselves and are now 14-6 on the year. I want to thank our producer tonight, James Andrews, and our cameraman, Ken Thomason, as the Braves knock off Heritage Christian 77-53, your final score. Thanks so much for tuning in here on Indiana SRN. For Ben Wood, I'm Jarrett Lewis saying so long for now. Girls semi-state for you tomorrow from Jasper High School, along with the IHSAA indoor track and field. Make sure you tune in to that here on Indiana SRN, where you're always in the game.